students, welcome to this module on developing a RMI based server. In the last module, we had learnt about RMI. How do we develop an RMI based objects? Fine. RMI objects are the objects on which we can invoke methods from a remote place. Fine. We will use this. Fine. There we had even seen about the pass by reference, which can be used for interaction between a client and server in both directions. So, here what we do is we develop a interactive application. So, in this module we will look at interactive application which involves client and server both. Okay. So, communication between client and server both will be needed. So, in this demo, fine, we will be developing the chat server side. Now, this is being divided into two parts. In the first part, we are concentrating on developing a chat server part, and then we will have the second part where we will concentrate on developing the client. Let us see, for developing a chat server and a chat client, what kind of components will be needed. Okay. So, the kind of components that we will need, okay, will be, we will need a chat server interface, okay, fine, that will take care of the interaction from a client to a server. Okay. So, that is what we have as methods available in the chat server interface. Then we will decide what kind of interaction is required by the server with the client, fine, what kind of interaction is needed from server to a client, and that we will put in our chat client interface. So, we need interfaces like this, and then we will have we will be developing a implementation of the chat server, okay, where it should be able to manage the various clients, fine, and then ultimately we will be developing one application which will create the for any RMI based server. What we have to do is we have to create an instance of our server implementation, fine, and then make it available for a lookup, fine, RMI lookup can be done on that. Okay. So, that is what we will be doing in this part, okay. And the second part would then be covering about developing the GUI part, fine. So, fine. So, in the entire so this is being developed in two parts. Okay. So, in this part, yes, we are developing only the interface for the chat server, the interface for the chat client, and implementation for the chat server interface, and a main application, a small application just containing a main method which should be creating the object of the chat server and making it available. Fine. I will just explain what kind of methods will be needed in the chats, what kind of methods. First part is about deciding what kind of methods we will need in the chat server and the chat client. Okay, fine. So, let us see the demo, I think, fine. Okay. Okay. So, now continuing with the demo, fine. What we decided was we will have two interfaces, one interface for chat server, the other interface for chat client, right. For any RMI, fine, any remote object. So, these two are going to be our remote object, one is chat server and other is the chat client. Now, for that the first step would be to decide about the methods which we should have, fine, for the purpose of communication, fine. So, let us start with the chat server, what kind of methods we will need in the chat server. Okay. So, let us start this with the saying package org.epg pathshala .dad.rmi, and this is for the server. So, we will put server, okay, package name, and then yes, what kind of components are needed. This will be interface which implements our remote interface. So, it extends from the remote interface, and therefore, we will need import for java.rmi remote, okay. And we will have methods here, and the methods here we understand all the methods in our remote interface have to throw remote exception. So, we will need import for java.rmi.remote exception, okay. And now, let us identify the methods, what kind of interaction is needed by the client from the server side, okay. Fine. So, yeah, we have our public interface as chat server which extends from remote, Okay. Fine. And yeah, the methods, yeah, what kind of things will be do we identify here? So, one thing, the first thing which a client is supposed to be doing is supposed to be logging in into the chat server. So, there will be an method, fine, which allows a client, fine, all methods in our interface would be public anyway, even if we do not declare. So, fine. Now, this whenever a client does a login, okay, he should be, the client is going to be managing the list of all the other clients with whom he can chat, and therefore, this method will be returning the names of the other clients, okay, and therefore, we have this method to be returning a string array. Okay. So, we have this method called login, where the parameter will be the chat client object, fine. This will enable the server to interact with the client also, fine. This is mainly for that purpose. So, this chat client is going to be our remote object coming from the client side. Okay. So, it has all methods here will have a throws remote exception. Okay. So, that is our first method. Now, anytime a client might ask for the list of all the logged in users. So, we will have another method to return a string array, fine, which is nothing but a method for list, fine. So, this is a method which again any client might use to get the list of all the logged in clients. Okay. So, a list method is available in our chat server for that purpose. Okay. So, we are identifying a list method, okay, that has a remote exception, okay. And then we will have a method by which any client would whenever it wants to send a message to another client, right, he will be invoking the method called send message. So, this method has a return type void, okay. The method name is send message with parameters. So, here whenever a message is to be sent, it has to be we will have to specify who is sending the message and it is to whom. Okay. So, from message to, and what is the message which is to be sent. Okay. So, this is what the client is going to have an interaction with the server, asking it to send a message to another client. So, throws will have again all methods here have throws remote exception, okay. And then we will have another, okay, we have a variant of the send message, maybe we want the message to be sent to all the logged in users. Okay. So, we might have overload of the send message, okay, where he specifies from, but nothing about the to. Okay. He simply gives two parameters only, the from, that is a sender, and the message to be sent, and we have the throws for that, throws remote exception. Okay. And then of course, since we have a login, fine, any client might just like to leave the chat. Okay. So, he can say, so we have this method called logout. In logout, we will take as parameter the name of the client who wants to log out. So, there is a name, okay, and that is the throws for remote exception. Okay. Fine. So, that is a set of methods which we have identified for chat server. Fine. So, this is our first interface, the chat server, which this is nothing but the methods which show interaction from any client to our chat server. Now, let us also identify what kind of interaction does the server want to have with the client. Okay. So, for that let us develop a fine, we will have another one, fine, we might copy a few things from the earlier. Okay. We will then make changes, fine. This will be for the client, fine. It has throws for okay, remote and the remote exception, yeah, and this is going to be chat client here. Okay. Fine. So, that is one thing. Now, just one more thing, we have chat client in a separate package. Okay. Since we have the chat client in the separate package, we will have to go back. Let me just first save this as chat client dot java. Fine. So, we have saved this as chat client dot java, but we will have to go back to the chat server and use one more import, since the chat server is dependent on using the chat client. Yes, we will need the import for org dot epg pathshala dot dad dot rmi dot client dot we have the chat client. Okay. So, chat client is the one which is being used in the login, that is the one. Fine. So, that is why we have put a import here. Okay. So, that is a change we have updated, and let us come back to the chat client, and now let us decide about the methods here. Okay. So, what kind of methods, what kind of interaction with the server need with the client? Now, when we do a login, right, at that point of time, the server would like to know from the client about its name, right. So, the client would have a method, fine, which would return the name. So, we have this method returning a string, the method name is get name, okay, and this has a throws for remote exception. Okay. Now, another thing what would be done by the server is, each time a new client logs in into the server, fine, the server, since all the clients are managing their own list of clients, other clients with whom they can chat, fine. So, any time a new client logs in, the server will send a message, will have to tell the clients that yes, there is a new person who has joined, and therefore, we have this method which is used by a server on the client to indicate that there is a new person who has joined, and it conveys the name. So, we have a method called joined, okay, and that takes as parameter, okay, the name of the person, the new client who has joined, and we have, okay, we need our throws remote exception, and this is for throws remote exception anyway is needed for all those methods in the remote interface. Okay. Okay. So, this is join. Now, similar to join, when someone logs out, okay, we will have a method called left, fine. So, the server is going to tell all the other clients that yes, so and so person has left. Okay. So, we have the method left again, who has left, the name of the client who has left, that would be a parameter, and that has a throws for remote exception. Okay. And then yeah, we have and then the most important part, whenever it is like the client is going to tell a server that I want to send a message to so and so client, right. So, when he wants to send a message to the client, whatever is the destination client, fine, it is supposed to be displaying the message there, fine. So, we have to have a method in the client, like it is an interaction from the server with the client, asking it to display the message, show the message. Okay. So, we have this method returning void, name of the method is show message, fine. Now, this showing of message is going to be different for different kinds of implementations, right. You might have an implementation which is maybe a console based implementation of a chat client, fine. If it is a console based implementation, then show message may be just doing a system.out.println, but in case of a GUI, yes, he might be putting it in a text area, it might have to be appended in a text area. So, there will be different implementation. Show message is like, okay, server asking the client that you need to handle this message. Okay. So, in that one thing, who is this message from? So, we have the message from and the message which is to be shown. Okay. So, these are the two parameters we have for the method here, fine. So, we have identified 4 methods for our chat client, fine. One is getting the name, other is indication from the server that a new person has joined, a new client has just connected, logged in, or whenever someone logs out, we have a method called left to indicate to the client that there is someone who is logging out. And then we have a method called show message. So, if there is a message from another client to this client, the server is asking it to show the message. Okay. So, fine. So, that is why we have identified the methods here for the chat client here. Okay. So, we save this and Now, let us go for developing the next component. The next component to be developed will be or we could actually go for compilation here. Okay. Let us try compiling this. Okay, we can compile, we can say Java C minus D dot dot slash bin org EPG Pathshala. In that we have DAD, we have RMI, and RMI we have the server, and there we have the chat server dot Java. Okay, I think I have made a mistake here. Okay, this chat client, where have we saved it? I think by mistake it is saved in a different directory, same as the. So, I need to be saving it in the client, not in the server. Let me put it in the client. Okay, so it is being saved in the client as well. Fine. So, let us compile this. Fine. Let us compile chat server.java. Okay. Fine. This would in turn be also trying to compile the. Now, we have this throws remote exception. Oh, it has been coming twice, throws. Okay. So, that is happening in the chat server. Okay. Fine. Let us see this. What is there in the chat server? Oh, yeah. For the list method, I think we put it twice. So, that has created some troubles. Okay. Fine. Let us correct this and let us recompile now. Okay. Okay, fine. So, that compiles. So, we have two of the components, that is two interfaces which we wanted to develop. One is the chat server interface, other is the chat client interface. Now, the important part for the server side. We would now also want to write an implementation for the chat server interface. Now, for the chat server interface, the implementation for the chat server interface, what we could do here is we could have we could manage all the chat client objects whenever they log in. Fine, we will need these chat client objects to be available to our implementation here. So, that yes, whenever someone says where do I show the message, how do I communicate with the client. So, for communication with the client, whenever someone logs in, the chat client object which has been passed will have to be stored there. Fine, will have to be managed here, and we are having a name. So, I think the best option here is to use a map of the name mapped to the chat client object. So, we organize all the chat client objects name wise in a map. Fine. So, let us start writing this implementation. So, for that, yes, we will have a package called org dot. I think we can copy this part. Let us see. Yeah, fine. We have the. Okay, so it is the same package, and yeah, we have the interface. Okay, this will be a class being developed. Okay, this is chat server implementation, and it extends. Now, we understand when we are developing the implementation, it has to extend from unicast remote object. Okay, and this should be implement. It should have the implements for our chat server. Okay, fine. Now, what are the other imports we will need? We are also trying to use java.rmi. Server dot unicast remote object, and that is another component we are using here. Okay, that is in the that is what we are extending from. We are also using org dot EPG Pathshala dot DAD dot RMI dot client dot chat client. Yeah, we have this. Okay, fine. And we need to be writing. Okay, we'll be managing our objects in a map. So, we need java.util.map as well, right? Okay, and let us start writing the implementation. So, fine, since we have to implement, it is a non-abstract class, we will be implementing all the methods from our interface, chat server interface. Let me first save this, or okay, fine. So, let us copy all those methods, the templates from the interface. Okay, so here is our chat server interface, and we copy all these methods, and we will be writing implementations of all these. Okay. So, here we have fine. Now, one by one let us start writing implementation. Oh, all these implementations are going to be public anyway. Okay. What kind of what are the things we are going to be using here? The most important thing is we will be using a map of name is of type string, and the chat client object. Okay. So, that is our client map. Let us call it as client map, and we might use a hash map. Okay. So, here is the hash map we will be using. So, we need the import for the hash map as well. Okay. Fine. So, we have the import for the hash map, and okay. So, fine. I think that's that instance variable is sufficient for us to manage all the methods. Fine. All these methods are going to be public. Okay. So, let me put public first for all of them. Okay, and now let us write the implementations here. Fine. Let us start with the first. Let us start with the implementation of the list method. Okay. Fine. We are managing all our clients inside the all our clients are going to be managed in the map, right. So, if you want the names are the keys in that map. Fine. So, if you want, we can simply use okay, all the keys from the map, all right, as an array. So, in a map we have okay, return client map. From the map we use the method key set. So, we get it as a set of keys, okay. And on the key set, from the key set we want to convert it into an array. We have the toArray method, okay, where the parameter will be a array of string. Okay. So, we have the new string array to be created. Okay. In this string array, the size of the string array will be same as the size of the map. So, we have the client map dot size being used here as a parameter to the size of the array. Fine. And so, fine. So, we have this method here called toArray. Fine. So, that is a list method. Fine. A very simple implementation for list. Okay. Now, coming to login method. Fine. Now, let us try to implement the login method. Fine. Since the login method is going to be asking for the name, it is passed as parameter an object of chat client. So, from that chat client it wants to know the name, and therefore, it is going to make a remote method invocation. It needs the throws remote exception here. Fine. Okay. Fine. So, here we have the okay. So, let us now think about when someone logs in. Yeah, what do we do? Whenever a new client will log in, the first thing fine it has to do is it has to fetch the name. Okay. So, it has a string name. Fine. This it will get from the client object. So, client dot get name. Okay. So, it gets the name of the client, and now yeah, now what should it do? Okay, first thing it should do is it should verify that we do not have any other client logged in with the same name. Okay. So, therefore, it should see that this name does not appear in the list. So, we might put a if statement, if name fine, if our client map, right, our client map dot contains this as a key, contains key for our name. Okay. If that is the case, fine, we can't proceed further, we don't log in. Fine, this person can't log in because we already have some other person some other client logged in with the same name. So, we can't have two clients with the same name. Okay. So, this will have a throw. Fine, here we will throw a runtime exception. Okay. Name already in use. Okay, fine, we might put that as a message. So, fine, so that is eliminating a case of duplicate names, fine. Anyway, so fine, we got the name, and now what is the next thing? Next thing is we need to tell all the other clients that there is a new person who has logged in, fine. So, the server wants to indicate to the client that there is a new person who is logged in, and for that reason, fine, it would take the list of all the clients. Okay, let us take the list of all the clients. So, we have the string array, we have the list method. So, we have client names as a string array, which we can get with the help of list method. Okay. So, uses list method to get all the client names, and then for then it might put this entry into the map. So, there is one more person who is logged in. So, make an entry in the map. So, we will say client map dot put. Okay. What do we put here? We will put the new name, new entry. So, this entry is nothing but the name and the chat client object, which is passed as a parameter. This chat client is basically nothing but the stub available from the client side. So, that server will be able to communicate with the client. Okay, this mainly for that purpose. Okay, so, now once we have made an entry, now we would like to let all the clients know about the new entry. So, let us have a for loop. Okay, so, there is a for each loop for each of those string. Okay, we have the client name in client names. Okay, so, each of those names we are obtaining. Okay, and for that, okay, fine, we need to invoke the method on the clients, right. So, we will say okay. So, to get the client, we have client map dot get, and what do we get? By using the client name. So, this will get us the remote clients object, and on that we indicate that yes, this is a new person who has joined. The name of the new person joined is nothing but that is a name. Okay. So, we are passing the name of the new person joined to all the clients, and so once this is done, okay, we also return this list of all the other clients which we have already taken as client names back to the client who is logged in. So, the one who logs in also gets the entire list. So, we will just simply say return client names. So, the client is going to get names of all the other clients who have logged in. So, fine. So, that is our implementation for login. Okay. Yeah, I think we have an extra semicolon there. Okay. Need to be removing this. Okay, fine. Now, let us proceed with the implementation of the other methods here. Yeah, what are the other methods? Okay. So, we have this method called send message. Okay. Let us see how to write the send message. Okay. When we say send message, it is nothing but it receives this as an invocation from the client, but now because of this it is supposed to invoke a method on the other client, and therefore, we will need a it is making a remote method invocations communication with the client, and we need the throws remote exception there. Okay. So, in this, yeah. So, fine. So, in this what we are having is whenever someone says send message, what do? We get hold of the destination who is the targeted client. So, we have client map dot get to. Okay. So, this gives us a destination client to whom the message has to be sent, and okay. So, on that client we will say okay, you need to show the message. So, we will say dot show message, and in the show message we pass as parameter who this message is from and what is the message. Okay. So, that is a simple implementation here. Okay, fine. So, now next will be the implementation for. Okay. So, next is going to be an implementation for our send message to all, it is like sending message to all. So, in this case it is nothing but the 2 part is missing. So, what we can do is we can get list of all the clients. So, when it is a broadcast message, let it go to all including the one who is sending. So, we can first get names, a string array, the entire list of all the clients. So, we have the client names equal to, we have the list method, okay, we get the list of all the clients, and then for each of them, each of the client is going to be communicated. So, we have the string for each of the client name in the client names, okay. Fine, we are going to be we just simply can call the other send message method, right. So, we can just say send message, okay, where the from is the from and 2 is going to be the client name and the message is the message. The message which is received here, fine. So, so that should take care of sending a broadcast message to all the clients, right. So, that is a method for broadcast message to all the clients, and now we have the method for logout. Let us write the implementation for logout. Okay. So, the logout would be, okay. So, when we have to log out, yes, we need to be removing the element from the list. Okay. So, this client needs to be removed from our map here, fine, remove the mapping, that is the first thing we should do. So, we have client map dot remove and we remove the name, fine. So, that is a this client needs to be removed from the map, and then let all the clients know that this person has left. So, we have for each of the, we can get the string array first, let us say a string array client names equals client, we simply use the list method, we already have the list method, okay. And then we can say for each of those, for each of the client name which appears in the client names, okay, it simply need to invoke the method called left. So, we have the okay. So, we have this client map dot get, we need to get the client object corresponding to the client name, okay, and then invoke the method called left. So, we are indicating to this client that so and so name has left, okay, right, fine. So, that is our implementation for the chat server interface. And now, the last one, okay. There is one more component to be developed for the server side, okay. Let us save this. So, we have not saved it yet. Yeah. So, we save this, we have to save it in the server, okay. Okay. So, we save it as chat server implementation. And chat server implementation dot Java. Okay. So, we have written the chat server implementation, fine. We may compile and check this. Okay. So, let us first compile and check this. So, for compiling, need to compile chat server implementation dot Java. Okay, a few errors here. Chat. Okay, there is a spelling mistake there for chat client, and there is one in the chat client dot Java. Okay, I think we have extra here. remove, we will remove that extra chat client which was saved. On the server we had the chat client being saved, so that needs to be removed, that is one thing. Yeah. Okay. Spelling mistake was in the chat server implementation. So, let us see where is the error. Yeah, the import spelling mistake was in the import. So, here fine. So, we have the yeah, let us compile now. Okay. Okay, we still have one error, and that is the throw new. Okay, we forgot the new. Okay, so if we have a duplicate, yeah, we have to throw new runtime exception. Yeah, we need to be creating, so forgot that new. Okay. Yeah, spelling mistake again. Okay, that is on line number 39. Yeah, we have the client map dot remove, right. Okay, and so we are through with the compilation of this. Okay, still says something. Yeah, there is one important thing about the any remote implementation. If you are writing, the important thing is we need a constructor for such an item, right. So, we need a public constructor for chat server IMPL, fine, and that should have a throws remote exception, that is a requirement. Okay. So, it has a throws remote exception, and maybe we are not doing anything there. Okay. So, that is fine. So, this is just a additional requirement which is for any remote implementation. So, if we write any remote implementation, we need to have a constructor which throws a remote exception. Okay. That is because our superclass is unicast remote object. Okay. So, fine. Now, the last component in this particular module is to develop the main method. Fine. We will write a class with the main method. So, that is the application part. Okay. So, let us copy some of the part which is related to the package. I think we can copy the package thing. Okay. We will see what imports we need. Okay. So, that is a package. We will need import for, okay, this is the main. So, it will need import for, okay, yeah. In this main, what we are going to do is, we are not going to be dependent on someone starting the RMI registry for us, and therefore, we will be using the methods from locate registry. So, fine. So, we will use java.rmi.registry.locate registry. Fine. So, this is to be used if we are interested in developing something, any server, fine, which is not dependent on someone else starting the RMI registry. We will have the RMI registry being created here itself. Fine. So, we will have one import for locate registry, and we will have import for java.rmi. We have this class called naming which is going to be used here. No, we are not going to be dependent on naming here now, but we are going to be using the remote exception. It has a throws for the remote exception, and let us see what else we will need later. Let us develop that class here. So, we have the public class called chat, let us call it chat server main. This has the main method, fine. Okay. and in this class we simply have the main method public static void main, which has a string array args for, and that has a throws for remote exception. Okay. Now, what we do is when we create this, fine, when we start this server, fine, there has to be a lookup which is going to be done by the client. So, for that lookup some string is going to be used. So, let us parameterize that string, let us call it as our chat room. Okay. So, we will have a string as a parameter, let us call it the chat room. So, name of the chat room is our args of 0. So, if someone wants to start this chat server, he will be specifying the chat room for that server. Okay. So, we have a string chat room, and now let us first thing is we need to be creating that registry for us, right. So, we need one more import for that. Okay. That is a interface called registry, which is equivalent of the naming. Okay. That is in java.rmi.registry. So, we have the registry import for registry, and now let us use this. So, we have registry r equals, it has to be created with the help of locate registry dot create registry, and we need to specify the port number. The default port number is 1099. Let us use that port number here, and now we also need to create the object of our implementation. So, we have the chat server, okay, server equals, we create the object of chat server IMPL, okay, fine, and then registry dot rebind. Let us use the rebind, and in this we will have the name as chat room. What is the chat room? That is a name, the key by which this object is going to be identified, and the object is our server object. So, we bind our server in the registry, and I think that is sufficient for us, right. So, on the server side this is what is to be done here. Okay. So, let us save this as chat server main.java. Okay. So, let us compile this and check out. Yeah. So, we have chat server main.java being compiled. Okay, spelling mistake for registry. Yeah. Okay, couple of spelling mistakes. Let us check those things. Registry and even here. Yeah, I think other place we have done correctly. Registry. Yeah, okay. So, few spelling errors, and let us compile. Okay, so this compiles, fine. So, here fine, we have developed the chat server part, okay. The server part, as well as we have one interface for the client, fine. So, in this fine, so we conclude this module here, fine. So, this is completing the server side of our chat server. We will in the next module we are going to be developing the chat client part. We will be writing the implementation of chat client, and then we will need a GUI implementation. We will develop a GUI application, fine, which should be able to use, it will be actually creating, it will be doing a lookup for the chat server, it will be using a object of the implementation of the chat client. So, it will be entire GUI application which will be developed having its own main method and all, right. So, yeah, we will have, fine. So, we will continue in the next module for that. Okay, thank you. Okay, thank you. Okay, thank you. Okay, thank you. Okay, thank you.